Hello and welcome to another edition of Velocity Kinetics. The saga continues with the faff-on that I had with the Bellino. Sorry, I'm also trying to catch up on work because I was at the dealership for so much fucking longer than I anticipated today. And I'm not talking like 20-30 minutes longer. So what happened today? So I'm trying to multitask as I'm going, but be patient. I'm not very good at multitasking when it comes to recording and this. Anyone who saw in the old Storm Space Production Let's Plays can attest to that. Wasn't always the greatest. But what happened today? So I took my car back down to Stoneacre. Well, actually, before we even did any of that, I had to take Sarah to work. My car this morning, front left, PSI was 12 PSI. Given it's supposed to be at 41 under normal circumstances, to find it at 12 this morning, evidently there is a problem. Had to reinflate it, but I'd anticipated that in building that into my schedule for this morning. Inflated it up to, well, technically I inflated it to 42 to allow for air escaping when I was taking the pump off, and also just for air escaping in general. Drove to the Freeman and back, no problems. Well, the front left felt a bit off. Whether that's me being paranoid, or whether there actually was something wrong, it just felt not quite like it was dragging. Probably the closest I'll probably ever feel to having a flat spot. Did that, came home, had a few minutes at home, and then went back out again. Because of the issue, I didn't drive at normal dual carriageway speed. So in the UK, unless otherwise signposted, a dual carriageway is 70 miles an hour. I drove there about 62 miles an hour. So basically slow enough that if I had a problem, then I'm not going the sort of speeds that would cause all sorts of problems if I had a monster blowout again. Get to the dealership with a few minutes to spare. I had to be there for 8:30 this morning. Because I'm not doing my normal day job at the moment. I'm doing admin work. I didn't tell anyone that I was off doing this, because if I plow through my work hard enough, I can get it done. I'm not taking a lunch break today to make up for that 1 hour, so minimize the amount of time I've been out. Got there for 8:30. They didn't know it was a waiting appointment. I thought you're gonna come pick up about 3-4 o'clock. I'm like, no, not at all. And then I asked, because I asked on Thursday, is there any sort of guarantee against this if it doesn't work? The girl at the service desk said, yeah, if it doesn't work, then we'll replace the tyre for you. Now, I took that to mean we'll replace the FOC because that would have been our fix that's failed. I asked, would you replace that tyre because that is your fix that has failed? And go, well, no, because it was your puncture. That's essentially the point that's happened. Now, I could have asked to speak to a manager. I didn't. I was furious. I don't think I really want to start shouting at people in the middle of that dealership. But suffice it to say, a complaint is going in about what has happened. I don't know what will happen next. During this stage I was like, well, are you going to repair it? But yeah, but it was your fix that's failing. Yeah, but the tyre was punctured. We haven't punctured it. You punctured it. Like, yeah, but you confirmed the diagnosis of a puncture. Interestingly, during all this, if you remember in the last video, there was a little clip where I put in the video that I got sent. I took the audio off because obviously I don't have permission to put that person's audio on, but because they're not there, I've put the video on. In today's video, when they did the health check, we can't see any evidence of a puncture. Really? I was then given the choice of either having a budget tyre, having a mid-range tyre, or having a premium tyre fitted. Now, I was always going to be out of money on this one because I chose to have both. I was going to choose to have both tyres replaced because I don't really want to have my drive wheels at 2 different levels, potentially 2 different brands. So what I was hoping is Stoneacre Suzuki would admit their mistake, admit, right, okay, no, that's on us, replace one tyre, and then I would buy the other. JD, job done. Fuck off was that job done. What happened, unbelievably, that's just the laptop I'm working on making noises. What happened Like, now it's not going to happen. They didn't have Bellino tyres in stock. Now, I appreciate some might say, yeah, but they don't sell a car anymore. They don't necessarily keep members. Like, yeah, but it's a Suzuki, so you should have some for the most recent models in stock. When I had the big blowout on the left rear, they had to get the tyre from somewhere special because it's not a standard size tyre. And apparently that's a common trait with Suzukis, which was news to me. So anyway, I was then offered the choices of the tyres. I've gone for two mid-range tyres. They cost me £74 each. I've got Falcons on now. I'd wanted Bridgestones, but apparently they'd had to order Bridgestones in. Now, bear in mind, the dealership that I've gone to is 30, like I said, it's about 37, 38 miles from my door. It's like, I can't just keep popping down to the dealership. It's not like when I used to live in Middlesbrough and worked in Stockton that I could just drop the car off in the morning, get a courtesy car, and then tootle off to do the rest of my day. Opted for the two mid-range ones, and then off it went. Now, I was in that dealership about 2.25 hours whilst they did all this, and I am so cross that I've had to pay for the fix on what was their fix, if that makes sense. Because the person on the video that came through was like, well, I mean, we can't do anything. I went, guess you could replace the tyre. It's like, well, what? It's sort of a what the fuck kind of deal. You know, like, I come to your dealership. There are Stoneacre dealerships nearer me. There are Suzuki dealerships nearer me that I could get things done at. I choose that dealership because usually and for the most part, for the other times I've been, they have been fantastic. This time I have no fucking clue as to what's gone on. And, you know, I'm just so annoyed by what's happened, because all I wanted was my car repairing. I wanted them to accept some responsibility that when they've gone to do their repair, that they've caused further problems. Since I got the car back on Thursday, I've had to reinflate that front left passenger tyre on Friday. I had to reinflate it on Saturday in the morning and in the evening. I then had to reinflate it on Sunday, and I've had to reinflate it 5 times since I took it in for its diagnostic. It is bile-inducing. I've had to take extra lansoprazole. Look how cross I've been. Lansoprazole is an antacid which deals with stomach acid. I've been that cross that I've had to take a second one of those medications that I'd normally take one of every day. Anyone else who takes it, I'm on the 30 milligram dosage. No idea if that's high, medium, or low, but I've had to take double the dosage to what I would normally take. This leaves me in an awkward position. Sarah is furious, understandably so. I've had to take money out of my savings to pay for a tyre, 2 tyres. Now, the Falcons that they've put on, it might just be because they're brand new, full tread. They don't feel very nice. Could just be that they're also just being run in. At the moment, they feel like I could run over a coin and I could tell you whether it's heads or tails. But again, it's been so long since I had a car with brand spanking new tyres on. Who knows? The next steps from here. If anyone follows the customer services expert blog on WordPress, and if you don't, I strongly recommend that you do. But if you don't follow that blog, there's something there that the person writing it basically goes on about. I assume it's he, just by the way, the venom in some of the posts. But the way they talk about it is like, look, don't complain if you can't be nice about it. If you're going to complain and be angry, do it a different way. And that's kind of it. I don't want to complain. Not as in I'm not got the grounds to, because a lot of people do complain when they haven't got grounds for complaint. However, I do have grounds for complaint. So the next steps from here are basically to take it up the ladder. I'm going to have to complain to Stoneacre head office. The saga continues. I don't see another way around it, because the other thing that this the customer service expert blog said is the person that you're speaking to at the low level, they won't be telling you that information just because they can't be fucking bothered. They'll be telling you that because their hands are tied. So the only real option for me is to go via the complaints route, and if nothing else, I've registered a complaint. That is then something that affects their customer service stats. That's something that potentially that dealership's got to answer to Suzuki about. It's not very I don't. It's wrong to say I win or such and such loses. I get the satisfaction of knowing a complaint's been logged. What Stoneacre then choose to do with it, I don't know. They've probably got reported to someone, and every complaint is not anything you particularly want to have on your company's databases. But it's still, like I said, not something that you particularly want, not something that Anywhere wants to have to report, and not something that Anywhere wants to particularly deal with. I want to log the complaint basically to get my money back for one of the tyres. Like I said, the front right, that was my choice. The front left, I had no choice, because I bet you by the time I got back up to Shields from Middlesbrough, the tyre would probably have gone. We'll see what happens. There will probably be a part 3, even if it's just they've answered my complaint. I'm not happy with the answer, but there's not a lot else I can do. But at the moment, yeah, considering that I recommended that dealership to, I'm sure he was my manager at the time, but the person from Image Air, who's done a few things for us, considering I recommended that dealership and that we had discussed a couple of times about maybe going down there to look at a Jimny, as in for me to introduce him to them, and then if he bought, then I'd get the referral money as well, because I think they were or still are running 50 quid for a referral for a friend or family member. Given that I was doing that for friend stroke manager, it's quite bad that things have gone the way they've gone. So who knows what will happen. No driving videos being put in this time because, well, I just can't be diddled. It's not quite I can't be diddled as in, oh, fuck you, I can't be bothered with the content. It's, this video's wound me up enough for the content. I don't really think I want to spend any more time than is strictly necessary on it. But look after yourselves, take care, and I'll hopefully get some closure or some update to pass on shortly.